Messenger, illustrated by Maria Forrest. Chapter 1 The Legend. The class began just like any other. Mr. Martinez collected homework from his fourth-grade students. He asked them questions about their assignment reading. Then he talked about the next topic in Arizona history, the gold rush of the 1800s. Prospectors came to the desert hoping to find gold and silver in the mountains. Our legend, in particular, has captured the imagination of Arizonans even to this day. Mr. Martinez said, "This is the story of the lost Dutchman gold mine. You see, in 1868, a farmer moved to Phoenix. He dreamed of striking it rich. One day, he traded his farming tools for picks and shovels, and his burrow disappeared for days at a time into the persistent mountains. The mountains just outside our city." Mr. Martinez pointed to the map on the wall. "Here, in this region, the man was remote and found gold, so every so often he emerged from the mountains with big chunks of solid gold. People tried to follow him, but he always gave them sleep. His name was Jacob Watts." "Like our Jacob?" said Sophia. The cat laughed. Jacob looked at his hands and shook his head. "Yes, Sophia, like our Jacob." Mr. Martinez said with a smile, "Except he was a farmer, rancher, and miner who survived for days in rough desert." "Oh, I'm sure our Jacob could survive in a rough desert too," Sophia said. "I know I could." Jacob wiggled. Sophia's always made him laugh, but Mr. Martinez, who was Sophia's uncle and the favorite teacher, would rather pay attention. Jacob took off his glasses to clean them so he could focus. When he put his glasses back on, things changed from funny to really strange. "As I was saying, Watts was born in 1810. Mr. Martinez continued. "He died in 1891. Nobody ever found the legendary mine. It's probably real though. I mean, it's much real. It is real. Some people have been very close to it." Mr. Martinez stopped and looked at the top buttons of his yellow shirt, scratched his head a few times. Then he looked around the class with big wide eyes. Jacob had never seen Mr. M like that before. "There are big chunks of gold rich in those mountains," Mr. Martinez said as he pointed to the map again. He stared at the map for a long time without saying a word. Finally, he turned to the class and said, "Excuse me, but I would like to meet with Sophia and Jacob outside, please." Jacob pointed himself and raised his eyebrow. Was he really in trouble for laughing? "Just you, Jacob Smith," repeated Mr. Martinez. "Oh, well, and Derek, please join us. Sit tight, class. We'll be back in no time." Once the four of them were outside the classroom, Mr. Martinez looked a little nervous. His eyes darted from side to side and sweat dripped from his forehead. "Derek," he began in a low voice, "would you like to watch the class for the next few hours?" "But Mr. Martinez, I'm not the teacher." "Derek, all you have to do is make sure they don't break anything. You can play heads up, 7-up, or whatever you want. Could I even organize a spelling bee?" "That's a great idea. Now get going and we're back in a while." Once Derek closed the door, Mr. Martinez turned to Sophia and Jacob. "Let's get a move on. I've got 3 backpacks in my truck, and the afternoon is getting late. Hurry before anyone sees us." Chapter 2 Mountain Ghosts. Before Jacob realized what was happening, they were at the outskirts of the city, climbing into the foothills. He sat in the truck cab with his arms folded, wondering if he should say anything. Mr. Martinez gripped the steering wheel with two hands and gazed straight ahead. Sophia turned her basketball cap backwards and stared out the window. Finally, Sophia turned and asked, "So, Uncle M, are we really looking for the gold?" Martinez grinned and nodded. Then he pressed down even harder on the glass battle. "Holy Kiss Rovers!" Jason burst out. "But it's just a legend, an old story. They were going to look for us." He looked down at his watch. "It's already 3 o'clock. My mom is waiting for me in front of school now. They say that one entered these mountains for Boulder Canyon," Mr. Martinez said as he pointed to the right. "That's where we're at. Are you in Sophia?" Sophia nodded. "Yep, and so my friends here," she said as she slapped Jacob on the back. "Good," said Mr. Martinez, "because there's a rumor that a few people have brought up wires up here in the past few weeks. With things heating up again, this should be an ideal time to go." The truck veered off into a bumpy dirt road. Mr. Martinez sped up, leaving a dust cloud screaming behind him. "Are you talking ghosts, Jacob?" We needed to know, because Jacob Watts would be 92 years old. "Coward, what you wish, my friend, but the goat can never find the gold." "Oh gosh," Jacob sighed as he slapped his forehead in disbelief. "They've left reality in the dust. I bet it's gold fever. We should be at school right now. They'll start looking for us." "Wait," Jacob said. "Maybe we should go to the doctor first. I've read about gold fever on the internet. They say people are acting funny when they think they're close to finding gold. Their eyes get big and yellow. They start scratching their heads a lot. They can't even laugh for over 10 seconds at nothing at all." Jacob could tell that they were not listening. Mr. Martinez carefully pulled the truck off the right-hand side on the road and parked it behind two muscatty trees. "That should hide us," he said. "Could you kids grab the bags out the bags?" Sophia and Jacob opened the tailgate and saw 3 different color bags. "The green one is for you, Sophia," Mr. Martinez called. "Hand the blue bag to Jacob and I'll take the big one." Jacob went inside his backpack. He found a flashlight, 2 cans of beans, a full canteen, a mossy pillow, and a Mexican blanket. Another blanket he found old mallet. "Mr. Martinez," Jacob called, holding the mallet. "Is this thing supposed to protect us from ghosts?" Mr. Martinez didn't seem to hear. He looked at Sophia and then Jacob. "All right, Jacob, here's the deal. You can either come along or stay here and guard the truck. This is an important ship, and Sophia and I would like you to come along. But if you're not going to complain..." "What?" Jacob said. "You're the one who dragged me out here." He looked out at the Sonoran desert. There were no stone walls, no people, and no paved road in sight. There was just a sharp cacti, loose rock, steep mountains, and scorching sun. He knew that rattlesnakes, scorpions, and cockroaches and Gila monsters roamed this desert. There might even mountain lions nearby. Jacob swung the pack over his shoulder. "Forget it, I'll come," he said. "Good," responded Mr. Martinez, without blinking a smile. "The mallet isn't for ghosts. It's good for lost things. But you're in trouble. It might make a good defense tool, too." Mr. Martinez looked on the doors of his truck and looked around to see if anybody was watching. Then he lowered his hands and looked out at the sun. "We've got a few good hours to get past the first ridge," he said, pointing high up into the mountains. Jacob looked back at the distant city and pointed to the storm clouds on the horizon. "How do you think there's a monsoon storm coming right this way?" Jacob wondered out loud. "We're going, Jacob," Sophia called from the trailhead. "Storm or no storm, we're going to find the lost gold mine. Sophia turned and started up the trail. Mr. Martinez followed her without saying a word. Jacob looked down at his dusty new shoes. Everything seemed dusty out here. Jacob took off his glasses and wiped away his shirt. Then he put them back on. Sophia and Mr. Martinez were already out of sight. Jacob took one final look back at the city, turned off his back, and ran after them in the desert trail. Chapter 3. Camp Kojak. The hiking trail was wide enough for only one person at a time. It wound back and forth, though the foot trails dry washed. Next to the trail, old Sagalo cacti stood like gatekeepers of these desert mountains. The 3 goat seekers traveled in silence over the first ridge, deep down into the Boulder Canyon, and lost sight of the city behind them. Except for 2 quick drink bigs, they kept a steady flex. This looked like a good place to spend the night, Mr. Martinez said at last. He pointed up at the tall, narrow peak. There's Weaver's Needle, where there have been reports of. He stopped in mid-sentence. That is where we'll find the gold mine tomorrow. Let's set up camp. Jacob wondered what camp there was to set up. He had no sleeping bags in his bag, and nobody seemed to have a tent. He pulled out a pillow and a blanket and laid them down. Sylvia was busy arranging some stone into a circle. Was there somebody's campfire? Jacob asked her. Must have been, Sophia replied without looking up. Probably somebody else looking for the goat a long time ago. Sophia stopped peeling straws and held her hands up. That wind feels good. She tilted her chin up and closed her eyes, basking in the breeze. Mr. Ed, do you think a monsoon storm is coming? Jacob asked. Mr. Martinez looked from his spreadsheet. Yeah, could be. The air is starting to swell. But don't worry, Jacob. See that locking ledge up there? If the rain starts coming down hard, we'll be up there in 2 minutes. By the time it got dark, Mr. Martinez had started a fire. The dry branches quickly burned and became bright orange, caught inside the stone circle. Mr. Martinez rested an old pot across 2 of the stones. He poured in 3 cans of beans and blew on the cups. Soon, yellow flames danced around the pot. They started silently into the mesmerizing fire. Uncle Em, Sophia began. You never finished telling our class about the end of the legend. What happened to the lost Dutchman? Why did I leave off? Mr. Martinez said. Jacob looked up. You said that he used to disappear into the mountains. These mountains, and he would come back to the city with gold, and a few days later, the people tried to follow him, but he always gave them asleep. That's where it stopped. Mr. Martinez still staring into the flames. He died in his house with a box of gold under his bed. His friends asked him where the gold mine is, but he never really told them. They tried to find it for years, but never could. So, Mr. M. Jacob said technically, if Jacob was died over 100 years ago, how have people seen him up here for the past few weeks? Mr. Martinez had the strange look in his eye again. Sophia sat on her blanket. She and Jacob waited for an answer. Mr. Martinez studied their faces, as if wondering how much he should tell them. Okay, at last, I'll tell you what I know. For over 100 years, people have come to these mountains in search of mines. Everybody was their theories. Some believe was hid in the entrance of rock. Others believe an earthquake covered up. Skeptics claim that it's just a myth. Other people believe it's open only a certain time of the year. How so? Inquired Sophia. Funny things happen with the monsoon storms, Mr. Martinez said as he looked up at the clouds overhead. It's like there's electricity in the air. Monsoons are so powerful that they can scramble things like time. Scramble time? But Jacob in disbelief. What exactly does that mean? Mr. Martinez spoke a stick into the cold. During the stormy season, portals open up to different time periods. They're like doorways to the past and the future. During this scramble time, I'll pass across somebody from the past, and that is how you think people have seen Jacob watch recently. Sophia added. Mr. Martinez nodded. That's been a pretty amazing proof lately. Sophia, Dad, and my brother were hiking 2 weeks ago. Through their binoculars, they saw a man walking up high near the weaver's needle. There was a burro walking behind him. Mr. Martinez looked at Sophia and Jacob. The yellowish color of the eye reflected his eyes. And on the next day, he found a nugget of gold on the trail. He whispered. It was the size of a baseball. Sophia whispered, I can't believe he didn't tell me. Jacob pulled the blanket further over his shoulders. Tomorrow morning, we will forget the trail and follow that wash. It heads up the canyon to the base of Weaver's Needle. Mr. Martinez listened. One howl turned into a chorus of yapping and howling. Yes, Jacob, there are coyotes out there, but they don't go after people. They'll probably just killed a deer, that's all. Chapter 4. The next day. Jacob heard some of the rustling noises. For a moment, his whole body froze. He slowly opened his eyes. Mr. Martinez was breaking sticks and putting them into the fire. Jacob quite slowly rolled his eyes up toward the desert sky. The sun was not up yet, but the dawn flag was turning the sky from black to light blue. Jacob's body, as was sleeping on the ground, his body and blanket melted like dirt. He could even taste it on his lips. 3 gold seekers quickly ate a bowl of oatmeal and packed up camp. They headed up and watched them before sun rays could peek over the steep canyon walls. Mr. Martinez walked quickly and didn't speak much. Jacob's worried because he had one look in his eyes, even scarier than the day before. By noon, they were hot and sweaty. The temperature was well over 100 degrees F. Jacob felt anxious when they finally stopped for lunch. Mr. Martinez passed the canteen around. Keep yourself hydrated, he said, because there's no telling how fast we might have to run down this hill. Mr. Martinez looked over at them and laughed for at least 10 seconds. Then he scratched his head and laughed some more. Jacob looked at Sophia and saw that she was laughing too. Sophia also seemed that funny look in her eyes. Suddenly, Sophia heard her sing. We're going to get rich today. La-da-dee-dee-la-da-da. And no more bills to pay. La-dee-dee-dee-da. She stopped for just a moment. Hey, Jacob, I'll buy you a new bike tomorrow. Did you want a mountain bike or a motorcycle? Mr. Martinez laughed, and Sophia scratched again. Then Sophia started scratching her too. By mid-afternoon, they were getting so close they could feel it. Sophia had stopped singing, and Mr. Martinez scanned the mountainside for clues. Jacob watched his feet carefully and tried not to step on any twigs. As the hours went on, the air began to swell. Small clouds from the horizon were now big, black and cumber overhead. There was almost a white melt in the air. Suddenly, Sophia stopped and shouted, I saw it! I saw it! I saw him! Mr. Martinez shook his fingers over his mouth. Shh! Not so loud, he said. Mr. M's golden eyes looked into Sophia's golden eyes. This should be the right time. Now tell me, Sophia, where did you see it? Sophia pointed to a pile fallen drops at the eastern base of Weaver's Needle. Mr. Martinez looked through these binoculars and smiled from ear to ear. Well, Albie, there's Rickety, the old man in the bottle. Jacob looked at Mr. M's big smile underneath the binoculars. His t-shirt was missing 2 teeth on the right side. Then a big drop of the rain fell. Mr. Martinez put the binoculars down. Okay, kids, let's huddle up, he said. This is a dream that's over 100 years old. The legend is real. We will become the final chapter. We are going to the mine to stuff as much gold as we will fit in our backpacks. If we split up, go meet back at the truck. But which way is the truck? Jacob asked. That way, Martinez pointed. Just follow the watch, and if you don't see the truck, just keep going downhill. From there, you can hitch a ride into town. He paused and leaned down close to Jacob's face. But don't tell anybody about the gold. What will we do inside the mine? Jacob needed to know. What if he's in there? We'll be fine, Mr. M answered. There are 3 of us. Now empty out your bags. Let's touch everything we don't need behind these trees. More big raindrops started to fall. Jacob stuck his musty pillows and Mexican blanket under some drawers. The food and water too, Jacob, Mr. Martinez instructed him. But Mr. Martinez, what if we get hungry or dehydrated? Jacob, we need room for the gold, Sophia explained. Do bring the flashlight though, whispered Mr. Martinez. It'd be dark inside. Chapter 5. The Gold Mine. At the mine's entrance, a gold barrel was tied to a rock. The tattered rope was found fastened around her neck by a loose knot. Borrow's grayish coat, as if they had spent many days in the desert sun. Her ancient face turned to the 3 approaching gold seekers. She sunk her foot into the dirt. Easy there, Wickety, whispered Mr. Martinez, placing a hand on her head. He pulled some oats out from his pocket. Wickety ate them from his bag. Mr. Martinez gave her a final pat and motioned Sophia and Jacob to the engine. Inside the mine, it was dark. Mr. Martinez, Sophia, and Jacob stood in the entrance room, waiting for the eye to adjust. Slowly, they could make out tunnels. One straight ahead and go to the right. I'll go straight ahead and you go to the right, Mr. Martinez whispered. We are made fun of the burrow. I'm not going, said Jacob. I'm afraid of the dog. Then you don't get any gold. Sophia threatened. Jacob looked at Sophia and then at Mr. Martinez. The eyes go a soft yellow in the dark. Okay, I'm not going, he repeated. Martinez shook his head. Okay, Sophia, let's both try the center tunnel then. We are going. Jacob knew it. His teacher and friend disappeared into the darkness. After a moment, he could no longer hear the footsteps. Jacob's throat sank down to the bottom of his stomach. He gulped and leaped out into the light. It was raining hard now. Jacob could see lightning strike the dead for miles away. In the far distance, he saw the lights of Phoenix slowly turning on for the evening. Jacob thought of his mom and how she wasn't too worried. Wickety was getting soaked. Jacob thought she seemed sad, so she walked over and patted her head. Are you really from the 19th century, Wickety? Would you like to run free into the desert? Jacob started loosening the rope around her neck, but just then he heard a shout from the mine. Jacob ran to the entrance room and waited for his eyes to adjust. He heard Mr. M's voice, and he sounded happily. Gold, 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 echoed throughout the mine. Jacob cringed. Be quiet, you guys, he hissed down the tunnel. He could hear you. And then Jacob heard footsteps. They were coming from the tunnel to the right. He looked around frantically, but only his dusty old mallet on hand. He gripped it tight. From the dark shadows, a face emerged. The face looked like an old leather, deep gleaming two eyes that seemed a century old. Its mouth opened into a big, scary smile, and the gold tooth reflected day's final light behind Jacob. Jacob Walls, he said in a threatening voice as he commanded. Mr. Watt, is that you? Shh, came a voice. I didn't do it, Jacob shouted. I don't care about the goat. It was Sophia's idea, and everyone was looking at him. Jacob, are you okay? Mr. Martinez asked. Jacob looked and nodded slowly. Good, because you can talk to Sophia about the goat after class. Right now, we are talking about the Arizona in the early 1900s. Let's see, where were we? She just said that in 1912, Arizona became the 48th state, Sophia said. Before that, he was talking about the gold seeker in the desert mountain. Thank you, Sophia, said Mr. Martinez. You keep up, you may ace this week's quiz. Sophia smiled and looked over at Jacob. What's going on, amigo? She whispered. Jacob looked down embarrassed. This wasn't the first time she had daydreamed in the class. I don't know, he answered. Derek joined in front seat of him. From his stretching arm, a note landed on the stairs. It is right, Rich. Let us know, Derek. Derek started laughing. Jacob saw that Sophia was laughing too, but when Sophia turned around, she seemed to have a strange look in her eyes again. Jacob looked down at Sophia's knickers and thought were unusually dusty. There was scattered stone in her shorts. Sophia, Jacob, Derek, Mr. Martinez said in an expressive tone. I'm trying to teach the class here. What should I do with you three? He scratched his head without saying anything. Then he scratched his head some more. I'd like to see you three outside, he said at last. The rest of you sit tight. We'll be back in no time.
Good job. We can try it. Wow. Click on the You pass. Click on the Great job on a perfect score.